another Fight of the Night review. This is for the Fight of the Night that happened last night at UFC Fight Night Smith versus Rakic, whatever. And it was the first fight of the main card between longtime UFC featherweight veteran Ricardo Lamas and newcomer Bill Algeo. So yeah, as always, I'm going to try and break it down bit by bit as best as I can, and we'll see where we get to. So yeah, let's do that. So the fight begins, and it is quite clear from the very beginning that the two do have quite a bit of respect for each other. I mean, you know, Bill is apparently someone who likes to just be a bit of a goof, likes to show off his confidence, and Ricardo has been in the UFC for as long as he has for a reason. Like, he's really, really good. So, yeah, this first round was very, very exciting and back and forth. There was a lot of great moments. Honestly, it's going to be difficult for me to pinpoint everything because so much happened in this fight, and I do apologise in advance for that if my analysis is slightly not as good as usual. But yeah, the two do some really good trading. Bill is the taller opponent. He goes for some really good body kicks, lands the really good body kicks. Ricardo goes for some really nasty looking calf kicks. There's a great moment where both men jab each other at the same time and slightly rock each other. That was really cool. Ricardo does eventually sort of turn to his wrestling in round one, but he doesn't really get a lot from it. There's a lot of great clinch work as well. The two men are like really close to each other. Well, in terms of like the punching, I'm pretty sure they might be friends outside of this. I'm not really sure. Yeah, a lot of great moments. Bill landed some really, really good looking combos. He landed a flurry near the end of round one as well. And from what I remember of round one, I think it was like both men had landed 40% of their significant strikes in round one, which is a crazy statistic, and I'm not normally someone who brings those up unless I think they're important. I think in this case it kind of was, and it is difficult to pick a round winner for round one. It really is, because both men looked great in this first round. I think maybe Ricardo. Maybe it's difficult. Like, this fight is one of the toughest ones to like call properly I've like seen in a while. And yeah, Ricardo, I feel like he was just pressing forward a bit more, but like at least both men were moving back and forth. At least it looked like they were actually trying to fight each other, not like the one I reviewed last week, you know. It was a bit different in that regard, and I respect it, and I really, really enjoyed this one a lot more as well. So yeah, round one was full of great moments, both men trading back and forth, landing some really good boxing combos, really good body and leg kicks as well. There was plenty of those throughout this fight, plenty of kicks. Head kicks too, obviously Ricardo landed quite a fair few in the entire fight, but you know, quite a bit in round one too. So yeah, really good stand-up war in round one, and we're going to move on to round two. Round two starts in a much different game. Ricardo does look a bit slow when he comes out, but like he doesn't really waste a lot of time striking with Bill. He almost immediately goes for a takedown, in fact, and he gets it. And he is staying quite well on Bill. I think Bill actually sort of goes for something, but Ricardo goes for like a guillotine attempt, or at least a front headlock. I don't remember if that's in round one or round two. But eventually Ricardo does actually manage to turn that to a takedown, and he does a lot of grinding in this fight, does Ricardo. He has Bill against the cage, he's like really pushing against him, and Bill is being smart. He's landing like those like sideways elbows that Travis Brown popularized. You know, he's landing a lot of those. He even cuts Ricardo open, and like seeing the blood just appear out of nowhere. Actually, no, that's not where the blood happened. It was from an exchange earlier where Bill landed a left hook right on the nose, right on Ricardo's snoot, and sort of broke it a bit, and that caused the blood to start pouring. But I like to think the elbows might have not made anything better, considering the position they were in. I can't really blame Bill for going for those, because it did work for him. But that aside, Ricardo definitely took round two for me. He was like a lot more in control with his wrestling. Bill did manage to get out some really nasty looking attempts at the ground stuff, and he did still look fairly fresh even at the end of it. But there was, oh my god, there was a great moment in round two as well where he rocked Ricardo as he was coming in. He rocked Ricardo with a nasty looking knee right up the middle. Oh my god. Oh man. It was one of the most perfectly timed knees I think I've ever seen in a UFC fight. It was just that good, and considering Bill's a newcomer against a veteran who has challenged for titles before in the UFC, that is pretty unique. That is pretty damn cool, actually. Yeah, round two personally goes to Ricardo for me, and then we move on to round three. But before I do move on, I do want to recall like an exchange that happened near the end of round two where both men were sort of like throwing a bit, a tiny bit until the bell went, and then like as the bell was throwing a punch, he just narrowly held it back from Ricardo's face. Like, oh no, there's the bell. I'm not going to punch you anymore. Not until the next round. So I thought that was a really nice little thing that happened. It was actually kind of cool. You don't really see that a lot in the UFC, so it was nice. Then round 3 starts, and Ricardo sort of influenced the same game plan he had in round 2. Try and stay close to Bill. Try to go for more takedowns. He does land them. It does eventually come to a point as well where he gets one near the end of the round, and obviously there's a lot of great back and forth action between that time too. There's a particularly great moment in some bits in round 2 I forgot, where after Bill did break from the clinch work of Ricardo, he landed a really good combo and then snuck in a tiny little spinning body kick that did land, and it looked really cool. And there was a great moment in round 2 not long after that where Ricardo landed 2 head kicks, left then right, then went for another takedown. That's sort of what happened here in round 3. In fact, a lot of this entire fight had a lot of kicking. There was a lot of kicking in this fight, and it was all really great. Ricardo again landed a sort of left-right head kick combo and then like a body kick combo. He was looking for that head kick a lot in this fight, and like the calf kick especially, he landed that a lot in this fight. And Bill very much sticking mostly with the body kick, but he did go for other areas as well. He did go for his own head kick. He was mostly focused on head punching than head kicking, but it's, still looked really good. And yeah, round 3 was very much Ricardo looking to sort of implement the same game plan. He did have Bill in a really nasty position in round 3, and he did have him on the ground. And near the end of the round, I did sort of allude to this early, but sort of forgot to say it because there was other stuff in round 2 I suddenly remembered. He had him on the ground and just like starts beating the crap out of him with punches, lands some elbows, and Bill lands some elbows of his own as well while he's on his back that actually do look like they do damage. And Ricardo does stay in that position for the last few seconds of the fight and round because it's the last round of the fight. So yeah, he managed to stay pretty dominant in that position. And obviously the round had some really great exchanges between the two as well, really good striking trades. There wasn't really like a moment where either man was rocked, but it was still a very good, very entertaining stand-up war between the two when it wasn't on the ground, and even then it was very exciting. There was some great clinch moments as well. Obviously throughout the fight there was a bit in round 2 where after Bill was sort of being tired of taking down and he did get back up, he held Ricardo against the cage. There was a great moment in round 3 where he managed to where he sort of turned badly and gave up his back, and Ricardo was staying on him, landing some great ground pound from side control, went for another sort of guillotine attempt, it looked like. And as he moved positions, because he was because he was in a really dominant position with Ricardo, there was a bit where Bill just had enough room just about to wiggle out and roll on his back and get back up to his feet. That was really nice. There was also a moment in round 2, I think, where Ricardo did have Bill against the cage, and it was sort of finding it hard to take him down, so Ricardo did something I don't think I've ever seen a fighter done before. He pushed his foot against the cage and then used the momentum to turn and sort of trip Bill down. He didn't hook his toes into the cage to keep it, he just pushed his foot against it, and I've never seen that. That was amazing. So yeah, obviously, rounds 1, 2, and 3 were all great. They had a ton of great moments. The entire fight was exciting. And because I haven't spoiled this, surprisingly, Ricardo did actually win by unanimous decision, and the numbers were quite close. I absolutely agree with the call. For a change, I feel like this was that close of a fight. I feel like Bill did a great job in his debut. Ricardo proved why he's so good in the featherweight division. And yeah, this was a really great fight. Bizarrely, also, Ricardo's first ever fight of the night. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. That was weird to think, but he got one, so kudos. But yeah, this fight was great. It's another sort of maybe it'll be in my top 10. I can't really think of a lot of moments I hated from it. Both men were super exciting, had great striking exchanges. Once again, I apologise, I know I didn't do the greatest job of describing all in as much detail as I could. Really great wrestling, amazing clinch work between the two, with Bill just landing knees to the body over and over. Oh my god. Yeah, it was a hell of a fight, and I recommend you go find it for yourself because it is that good. And to think that Ricardo is sort of contemplating retirement, and to be honest, with all the stuff he's given to the UFC, I don't blame him for thinking that. I feel like he's done quite well for himself, and if he does want to take a step down, I would fully support it, because he's not the biggest legend in the featherweight division, but he's been around for a long time, and I think people sort of sort of forget how important he's been to the featherweight division. So, if he does want to take a step back, I'm all for it. He's earned it, in my opinion. Anyway, that'll about do it for this one. I will see, well, probably some of you later for the CWL Exiled pay-per-view. And then there's the stuff I'm going to do next, which is more backtracking. I don't know when I'll be able to get that done, because I'm going to be busy over the next couple of days helping my parents with housework. I almost said homework. No, with housework. So I don't know if how much time I'll have to do those videos. I am, at the very least, I'm going to get a stream done on Tuesday for PBW. That much I can promise. So I'll see you all for that most likely next. And if I can't get the backtracking stuff done immediately, the earliest I can promise you is Thursday, possibly Wednesday at a push. I don't really know. But yeah, that'll about do it. And as always, thank you for watching. You're awesome. Bye bye.